defense because they don't want me to. That's why I do it.
Presented by X Insurance. X Insurance. From the SIG Sauer Studios. On the Patriot Mobile Platinum microphone. Here is your host, the loudest conservative voice in America fighting the enemies of freedom, Mark Walters.
Yeah, so, every Sunday after the show, I tell Greg in Dallas at the network, I'll see you soon. I'll see you too soon. Greg, is it too soon?
It's too soon already.
Came quick already, didn't it?
Oh, every Monday.
Mondays are like that. Welcome into the 6 Sauer Studios, guys. I'm Mark Walters, filling your prescription for freedom today and every day on the Patriot Mobile Command Center microphone here on Mondays through Fridays. Of course, we are all being presented by X Insurance. You can find all of our great partners at armedamericanradio.com. So, Greg, we're up on every major platform, but I understand I got a notification that X is having problems with the live stream. It's not our fault. It's out of our control. So I'll let you tell people where else they can watch the program. Again, I apologize for the hassle. A lot of you like to watch it over at X, and we love having you watch it over there. But it's not our problem. But it is, after all, a radio show. Greg, tell people where they can watch and or listen if they can't get it on X. They don't want to go somewhere else. They can listen to the broadcast and where to participate in the chat. We'll get cracking.
Sure. If you want to watch the show, you can search for Armed American Radio with Mark Walters over on Rumble, YouTube, and Fascist Book. Usually we'd be on X, but I'm not going to give that one. If you want to listen to the show, it's on the Listen Live, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so armedamericanradio.org or .com, right-hand side of that website, you'll see a menu icon. Just give that a click, and when that window opens up, you can select that Listen Live option. If you missed any previous episode of this program, well, you got the podcast link over there as well. And if you missed last night's Monstercast, head over there and check it out. Lastly, if you'd like to join our live chat, all you have to do is head on over to your app store, grab the Telegram messaging app, create your profile, and search for Armed American Radio Conversations.
That'll do it. That'll bring you in. Sorry about the X deal, but again, outside of our purview. Can't do anything about that. Wah, 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 wah.
Exactly.
Wah. But it is a radio show, so have fun listening.
There you go.
Andy Hoosier, the voice of reason, KQAM, Wichita's Big Talker, Wichita's favorite son. I got that all out. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Mark Walters? Happy Monday, brother.
Happy Monday. What's the weather like, Wichita?
It's I guess okay. It's about 55, 60 degrees. A
little bit too hot.
A little bit overcast. We're supposed to get some more rain and snow tonight, which I'm happy about.
Rain and snow?
Yeah,
snow?
it's supposed to start snowing and then rain and then turn into snow.
You guys get the thunder
one
snow
more.
there? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. We get the little tease of it's almost springtime, and then it gets cold again, and then it finally warms back up, and then it's 90 degrees for the rest of the summer, or 110 degrees for the rest of the summer, which is ridiculous, but nonetheless.
Well, that's fun.
Here we are.
Hey, Greg, do me a favor. Yeah. Ask me, Greg, how many cups of Defender coffee I had today to start my day.
Mark, how many cups of Defender coffee did you have to start your day?
None. I'm having a Circle K coffee right now.
All right, well.
And that's because
Circle
I was out
K?
and about. Yeah, Circle K, yeah. Yep. That's because I was out and about a little bit ago, and when I got back, I just didn't have time to make any. I didn't have any this morning, so I was like, I better get coffee because I'm not going to have time by the time I get back. Got to go live on there. You know what I'm talking about, Andy? You know how that is, right?
I can't do gas station coffee. McDonald's is the best coffee I think that's out there.
No, if you spill McDonald's coffee on you can burn your crotch and stuff, and then you have to sue them for $20 million.
There's that.
But see, I happen to love Circle K coffee. I'll go down there on a Saturday just to get it once in a while. I don't know why. There's something about it. I don't know what it is.
Coffee's the only thing I'll pretty much eat from McDonald's, and I'm just drinking that.
Yeah, well. Yeah,
I'm still a tea guy.
McDonald's. You're a tea guy? Don't tell me that.
What are you, British?
Oh, no. You got a little pinky out at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. And I can't see you sitting around with a mohawk listening to headbanging rock and roll with your pinky out going, this is really good green tea.
Hey, I like it, man. It's the hippie coming out in me. I drink, honestly, tea and water is about all I drink.
Well, if it's the hippie coming out in you, Greg, maybe we should ask him what kind of tea he's drinking. No, I won't put you on the spot.
Chamomile.
Would you like to know? That's right, yes.
But, you're listening to a guy who has gone to Starbucks many times and said, and gone through that routine. Welcome to Starbucks. What can we get started in the oven for you? Nothing. I'm here for coffee. What can we get started for you? I'll have a venti, sugar-free vanilla latte made with Breve, an extra shot,
Oh, it's
Cinnamon
I don't
sprinkles.
know what all that is.
so LGBTQ.
Cinnamon sprinkles. Just a quick
Fabulous.
pump of some sugar substitute, and
It's
then
the
they
tea.
inevitably ask, "Would you like whip on that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Throw some whip on that. Might as well."
Now the
Yeah.
tea.
Why not? Why not?
Oh, good Lord! It's a Monday. Oh,
That's how you started off right there.
well, I go back. You see the TV show Landman? You guys watch Landman?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's really
I have
good.
not yet.
Oh, dude, you're missing a
Andy.
good show.
Oh, you're missing out. You're
It's
missing
on my
out.
list. It is on my list.
Okay,
Yeah.
Taylor Sheridan comes out of nowhere, I guess. I mean, this guy's all of a sudden, well, out of nowhere. He's been running Yellowstone and everything, but I mean, this guy's just got it going on. Landman's really good. But Greg, there's a scene when Billy Bob Thornton's son is on his first day on the job, heading out
Yep.
to the patch,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah.
stop at the bikini barista,
Yeah, yeah.
and the super hot bikini barista's there.
Yep.
And he's got 3 Hispanic guys in the car driving him, and he's the only white guy in the car. And they go up to order the coffee. There's a line of people behind him. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And they get to him, his son, and he says, I guess I'll have a vanilla latte. And he kind of orders something like I would have ordered at Starbucks. And everybody started yelling at him. And then on
They're
the way
blowing
out,
their horns.
he says, well, I don't like it black. I can't drink it black. And the Hispanic guy says, it's not about the taste. It's about the fuel. At about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to need a pick-me-up. And that crap right there is going to make you sick to your stomach, and you're not any good to anybody. He throws it out the window. He goes, learn to drink it black. So that was a beautiful thing. But I can't drink black coffee.
I can't either. Can't stand it.
Too bitter for me. Too bitter
Interesting.
for me. Yeah, it is, Andy. It is interesting to me. I don't know. My wife drinks it black, but it's funny because I'll order the foo-foo drink, and she gets the black coffee, and my dad cracks up. He goes, when did Lisa start drinking that foo-foo stuff? I said, she doesn't. That's for me. He's like, oh, my God, get me out of the car. You're a flipping embarrassment, Hey, guys, it's a Monday. What can I tell you? So, Andy, we haven't had a chance, you and I, to talk about the dust-up with Zelensky. Now, you and I did touch base when we talked earlier today off air, but your thoughts on that. I just watched Trump's news conference, and it dawned on me, he's had more news conferences in the last 4 weeks than Biden had in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really,
pretty
truly
much.
has. It's been remarkable to watch. And Zelensky's in trouble in Ukraine right now. And Greg, I think I heard something yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, during one of the breaks last night on the Monster Cast. Greg had mentioned to me, he says, hey, did you hear that in that Oval Office meeting, Zelensky said something under his breath in Ukrainian that was, what did he say, Greg? Do you recall?
As the B word.
Calling Trump a
Really?
B word.
Yeah.
I heard something about that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't know
well,
whether
with
that was
Fox
true or not. I
News-
didn't catch that.
Yeah, some guy was being interviewed on Fox News when I was on my way back getting this coffee, which, by the way, is just cream and a Splenda in it. But no foo-foo there because I had to make it myself. But he was referencing something, and Greg, I'm pretty sure that's what he was referencing.
Yeah, I've seen a second follow-up video of that today. I was watching a podcast live, and they brought the video up and played it. And I mean, I don't speak whatever Ukrainian language is.
don't?
I don't speak it, but I've heard people talk about this that do speak it, and they're like, "Yeah, he called him a B word."
Well, apparently that's true.
Wow.
The guy was referencing something that he said in his own native language
Yep.
that did not do him any favors.
No.
So now the White House is seeking apologies. I think Trump wants him out. And
I think there's going to be a lot happening.
yeah, something's going on there. Andy, what's your take on all that with Trump and Vance and this guy coming into this country and literally
Isn't it-
crapping all over
I mean-
taxpayers? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
In the Oval
It
Office.
is ridiculous. I mean, look how refreshing it is that we have a leader that's actually willing to stand up and say, no, we're not just going to cower and give you a blank check. From a cultural, taking a step back and just observing all of this, it's wild to me where, you go back 30, 40, 50 years, and it was the Democrat Party that was, peace at all costs, no war. They were protesting all the conflicts. Even going back to the Bush administration with the conflict in the Middle East, it's just the war for oil. We need to stop this, no war. We want peace, yada, yada. And nowadays, it's us as the conservatives that are saying, we don't want this conflict to continue. There's no reason for the conflict to continue. And the military-industrial complex is the one that's wanting this to keep going. The Democrats, the mainstream Democrats, are the ones saying, no, we need the war to continue. Give
30.
them a blank check. Give them everything they want so they can keep this conflict going. I have the latest tweet that Donald Trump just railed on. Zelensky today about Zelensky's comment saying that the peace and the end of the war is a long, long ways away. And Trump said, that's not what we're about. If that's what you think, then I'm out. Figure it out yourself. But we're not going to be in this for the long haul. We're not doing that.
No, he made it very clear. He made it very clear from the commentary I was listening to. I think Trump wants Zelensky out at this point. And what Trump wants, Trump's going to get. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Zelensky's going to find out. He ain't playing hardball with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's playing hardball with him. Pretty much that simple. And Trump is going to do a lot like my good friend Curt Schilling does. He's going to start throwing right at you if you start getting in his face. That's what's about ready to occur. We'll be back with Andy Hoosier, the voice of reason. Don't go away. Yeah, it's the only way you're going to learn the tune. Let's play it, play it, and play it. That's the intro to Have a Drink on Me, Back in Black. It's my newest one. 2 tunes away from having every single song on that album down to a T. Can't play too much of it, you get copyright stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
They're hitting you on YouTube for copyright stuff? When you're playing you're playing a song that exists in pop culture?
Yeah, if you play too much of it, they'll tag you with a copyright. You can play just a little bit of it.
You playing it. Not you're playing like an album.
It doesn't matter. You got to be careful. YouTube will flag you if they don't like you.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think it would be too bad on this platform, but it wasn't enough there to matter anyway. We good?
Yeah, go.
There we go. It's a Monday. What do you want, right? It's not about the taste. It's about the fuel. At about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to want to pick me up, and that crap's going to make you sick to your stomach. You drink black from now on. Andy Hoosier, the voice of reason. Welcome back in the 6 Hour Studios with me on a Monday, brother.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, okay. So Zelensky calls Trump the B word. I have a feeling he's going to get B-slapped here real soon. I could be wrong about that.
I'm pretty sure he was calling Vance that, but regardless.
It doesn't matter. Vice President of the
shot.
United States, the President of the United States in the Oval Office when you ain't even wearing a suit, bro.
Yep.
Come on, man.
You lose credibility. Yeah, this guy's he's in trouble. So, Andy, what do you think's going to happen in the State of the Union speech tomorrow, which is going to be a State of the Union speech, by the way? I think you'll agree with that.
Yes. Yeah, it is a State of the Union speech. It's going to be amazing. He apparently sent out a tweet or a truth or whatever earlier today as well, saying that he's going to it's going to be a firestorm. He's going to just blow it up and say exactly what's on his mind and not hold anything back, which is what we've seen from, exactly. I mean, we've seen that from Donald Trump for the first month and a half of his administration. So why would he hold back now? And I'm curious to see what he's going to say. I really hope he does go after Zelensky because like we just went into the break saying, I mean, this is the military industrial complex that's been wanting to keep a long-term conflict going for a long time when there's no reason to. We literally, and remember, Mark, right after the election in November, Russia came to the table, said they were wanting a ceasefire. Yeah. Ukraine came to the table, said they wanted a ceasefire. Everything was golden and Gucci until Joe Biden shuffled his way out of the Amazon forest. Yeah, that guy. And said that Ukraine was now allowed to use military or U.S. missiles in their conflict, which was one of the prerequisites before, saying that we wouldn't do that or else Russia would start a nuclear deal or that he would escalate things or make it even worse. And look, with the United Nations now and the European Union and these other European countries that are now coming out saying that we stand with the Ukraine, don't worry about the U.S. Cool. Why do we have to be involved at all? But guess what? That's going to escalate things more. It's like these individuals, it almost, not to make it all about Donald Trump, it almost seems like they are so spiteful about Donald Trump being able to resolve something that Joe Biden was not able to do, that they would rather have World War III by escalating things than allow it to calm down, be peaceful, and negotiate things diplomatically like Trump wants to do. Why is that such a bad thing to happen here? It really leads us to believe the conspiracies that are out there that, they were money laundering for the U.S. They were doing all their deals with the Biden family, that Zelensky is just there. I mean, he can't account for billions of dollars that we've given him. We don't know where that money went, that he was apparently there's a new rumor. And again, this is rumor. Don't take this as fact. But the latest rumor was that they were taking our military weapons that we were giving them, selling them to pennies on the dollar on the black market to many terrorist organizations around the world doing this. And that's why they don't want this money flow to stop. That's why they don't want the resources to stop. And the way they're acting, I'm not saying that it's true, but I'm saying the way that they're acting makes them look very guilty by association right now. Who wouldn't want to end a major conflict right now? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, who would open our borders and allow millions of illegal people in here? Why would people do that? Now, you have a debate going on. I can't believe I'm even saying this. But and I was watching it prior to the show because this utterly fascinates me. Democrats they're in big trouble right now. They've been in trouble for a while. They're in bigger trouble right now. They are debating on the floor right now the bill to keep men out of women's sports, protecting women's sports. Now, there's a rumor that every Democrat is going to vote against every single one. Now, in the first House vote, every single Democrat voted against that. Now, before I even go any further, why? Why would every Democrat vote against that? Don't they have kids? Don't they have daughters? Why? Explain to me why. How did we get to a point in the United States of America where it's okay to put Bob on the field with Cindy because Bob identifies as, Marsha? Why? How do we get here, Andy?
They haven't learned their lesson yet. They're still in their identity crisis, and their identity is the fact that we've taken away half of their identities are allowed to identify with. So they're trying to find a new one, but they somehow still think, after all the failures of DEI with Target, with Disney, with Bud Light, with Doritos, with all these other companies that try to do this and go down this road, and they all, almost went bankrupt. They're all failing miserably. They're all getting rid of it now because Trump allowed it to end through the ESG and DEI movement at the federal level through his executive action, that they haven't learned their lesson. They still think that culturally we're still on that road, and that if they defend them because they're victims of society and victims of Donald Trump, that we need to stand up for the victim and they're going to get kudos points. They don't realize it's unpopular, and culture has had enough of that.
I don't think they don't realize that. They have to realize that. They have to realize that. There's another agenda in play here that maybe we're not aware of. Greg, you were going to jump in. I heard you in there.
Yeah. My response initially, I was going to respond to why would they want to keep this war going? Well, how does Raytheon and Northrop Grumman and Bell Helicopter, how do they make their money? With contracts with the military to provide military equipment. And if there's not a war going on with us, they contract with other countries to build them military equipment. So that's why they want the war to keep going, so that all the money and kickbacks keep going, or these big industries go out of business. Second,
military industrial complex.
Correct. And Eisenhower warned us about it. The second one is why are they still pushing the men and women's sports? The medical industrial complex does not want to lose patients for life. And with RFK coming in, and if he implements his strategies in order to make America healthier again with the ingredients that we eat and the foods that are on our shelves, well, the medical industrial complex loses customers there as well, because people might not be as fat as they are now.
Okay, I would argue the medical industrial complex with you when it comes to trans issues. Here's why. There aren't enough out there to keep them in business. This is not cancer. Now, I could argue they never want to find a cure for cancer. Cancer is multi-billion-dollar industry, brother.
Vaccines, cancer.
They cure cancer. Billions of dollars in the U.S. economy
diabetes,
go right down the tubes, right down the freaking tubes.
Hypertension, all of those that are prone to be a side effect of our dietary habits. And so there's lots of money in dialysis. There's lots of money in regular.
You mean they
visits.
want us to be fat? They want us to be fat?
Well, they took away physical education in schools, so kids had no recess to go out and work off calories from lunch. They all just sat around and got irritated in a classroom, and so they put those calories on as fat.
Well, I went to a Catholic school when I was younger, and when I come back, I want to tell you about the white line in the parking lot during recess. And then we're going to go to a letter the Democrats wrote to Pam Bondi about her position on guns after Trump's executive order. And believe me when I tell you this, we could spend a week on this. We don't have time, but we'll get into it today. We'll be back with Andy right after this.
Yeah, the medical industrial complex has been attempting and has been doing it for the past several years, probably close to 10, transing tens of thousands of kids. There's so much money there. It's really...
I'm sure there is, but in the overall scheme of things, I mean, you would talk about cancer, that's a whole different ballgame.
It's
but I don't know there's enough people wanting to
depopulation.
cut their nads off. I don't know. Hey guys,
I know
we'll
you
be right
don't
back.
know.
Hold on. Those of you in the chat over there at Telegram, who put that meme up about the Gilligan's Island knuckleheads being told for the 357th time it's a radio show while the skipper, Professor Gilligan, and Mr. Howe are sitting around a table listening to the radio. That's a classic.
Angeline,
that's beautiful.
I don't think they can hear us right now.
Yeah, our mics are open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I turned them back on there.
Yeah, I thought you turned them off. Thanks, Martin. Angeline, you did not steal that meme. You taxed it.
I might have to look up old Gilligan's Island episode today. I hadn't seen that in years.
Yeah, I very rarely see them on TV.
Love those shows. Here's one for you. Remember, he's pedaling his little bike through the palm tree.
Yeah.
I could never understand, the question, Ginger or Marianne. I could never figure that out. The easy answer is both. What's the problem?
Yeah, there's no problem there.
The old pier in St. Petersburg, Florida, years ago, had Marianne and Gilligan show up for an autograph session and stuff up there one day. So I drove out there to hang up with them. There was a bar at the top of the pier, and they were doing a meet and greet downstairs, but Marianne, Don Wells, and Bob Denver went upstairs to the bar area beforehand, and I was up there sitting there having a cocktail, and they walked right up to the bar. It was kind of cool meeting Marianne and Gilligan at a bar in St. Pete a few years ago. He had his little white hat on and shit. She still looked really good. We're going about 25, 30 years ago. They're all dead now.
Yep.
Daniel Defense firearms are guaranteed for life, trusted worldwide, and designed, engineered, and manufactured right here in America. Daniel Defense, freedom, passion, precision.
Yeah, freedom, passion, precision. Daniel Defense, gotta love that. Visit DanielDefense.com, DanielDefense.com. Get on the email list. Really cool stuff over there. I got an email, I think, Friday from them. Great stuff, Daniel Defense. You can also support the Double D Foundation.org. Welcome back to the SIG Sauer Studios. Mark Walters filling your prescription for freedom today and every day on the Monday through Friday show here on the Daily Defense. The Patriot Mobile Communication and Command Center microphone. All the shows, including the Sunday Monstercast, are being brought to you by X Insurance. Please make sure to visit all of our partners. I had a great conversation with the guys at Barrel Buddies, the partners over there at Barrel Buddy today. And guys, we got some really fun stuff coming up with that. Yeah, some really fun stuff, like a promotion that's going to be really cool for Barrel Buddies. It's going to be a really easy way to get you to finally pitch that patch. I'll tell you more about it sometime probably late next week. But we're going to have a nice landing page for you and all kinds of fun stuff. And the winner's going to walk away with, let's just say, something really cool. So make sure to check out barrelbuddy.com, barrelbuddy.com, and all of our great partners. You find them all at armedamericanradio.com. Andy Hoosier, the voice of reason. So, Andy, when I was a kid, living in Ohio many, many moons ago in a galaxy far, far away, I went to St. Mary's Catholic school in grade school. And I'll never, Sister Mary Walshlegger, honest to goodness, that was her name. And back in that day, they'd whack you with a ruler, bro. Okay? Mm-hmm. You got out of line, they put your hand on the desk, pow! And you got home with a red welt. You know what Dad said? You must have been bad. Good for her. Nowadays, somebody'd get sued, right? But whatever, I digress. But they're in the parking lot where recess was. There was a white line in the parking lot. Boys on one side, girls on the other. And guess what? We all knew who the girls were, and we all knew who the boys were. It was cut and dried. If we were playing anything like, we used to play dodgeball. Greg, remember dodgeball with the red balls in school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd whip them at your friend, try to hit him in the face with that thing up against the wall. But if one of those balls crossed the white line, you'd run towards it and you'd stop at that white line. If you even crossed that white line, you were going to meet Sister Mary Walschlager's ruler. How come it wasn't a problem then, Andy? Why is it a problem today? Now, I'm going to take that back to the Senate here in just a second, but I'm trying to find an answer to that. How did we get here?
It's been that slow change of what they've done to culture it's that slow creep. And that's again what Saul Alinsky wrote about. That's what the socialist movement is all about. And we got to remember going back to, FDR, when he said that politicians come and go, the political landscape ebbs and flows, the pendulum swings left and right. But if you had that administrative state, that deep state that continues on slowly, incrementally to where no one notices it, then we'll wake up one day with socialism and no one will even know how we got there in the first place. Then Democrats got excited. They got ambitious and they got a little frustrated with how slow the process was going. So they tried to step up the game. And that's when people started to catch on and we started to push back a little bit. You got to remember Bernie Sanders, when he ran for president this last round, he said that it was time to complete the FDR agenda because they got anxious and got impatient and they couldn't wait any longer.
Yeah, well,
and people started waking up. Wait a second. Yeah. And they started saying, we're not dealing with this. This is really stupid. Wait a second. What are we doing with masks? What are we doing with COVID-19? Wait a second. This administrative state during COVID that exposed it with this quote unquote great reset, we didn't realize how much power they had and we tried to change it. And now they're coming after us. And now I'm deemed a domestic terrorist for showing up to a school board to ask about the curriculum at the school with my kids. Wait a second. When did we give them that much power to allow them to do what they're doing? We need to change it. And I think that's when the pushback started because they pushed a little bit too far.
Yeah, and by the way, congratulations are in order for Andy Hoosier, who was just elected the vice chair of the state Republican Party. Congratulations, Andy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun convention this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, so you and David Hogg are vice chairs of something.
Do they really know what they did?
That's right.
Do they really know what they did? Yeah, they know what they did. So yeah, they got the best. I don't know. Maybe if they see you in a mosh pit somewhere, that might change their minds.
Have they heard his show
that's the
yet?
thing. Well, when I walked up on stage with my braided mohawk and and everything, they did look at me a little bit strange. So yeah, no, we have a great team. Denidre Herbert, she actually, and Chris Kobach, our attorney general here in Kansas, he's a big Trump supporter. Obviously, almost went to the Trump team. Denidre Herbert has been his lifelong and long-term campaign manager. She's the communications director for him. She's been on boots on the ground for years. And when she asked me to run for her, with her as the vice chair, then I was honored to do so. So we're going to have some fun here in Kansas and get the state party ramped up, ready to go with the grassroots and get ready for midterms next year.
All right, fun stuff. So let me just go to the Senate real quick before I go to this letter from House of Representatives, Democrats. The Senate is debating. They may have already voted on it. I don't know. But, Republicans need 7 Democrats to join them with this legislation to keep men out of women's sports. And it will be really fascinating. It's a brilliant political move. I was listening to Thune give his talk on the floor of the Senate, and the Democrats are just backed in a corner. Every Democrat is going to vote against this like they did in the House. I don't know that everyone will. It'd be interesting to see what a guy like Fetterman does at this point. I mean, Fetterman, who would ever thought we'd be talking like that? But the guy seems to have more common sense than the rest of them. But they're on record. They're going to be on record as not supporting women in women's sports. It is remarkable that there's a major party in America right now that finds themselves so tangled up with the lunacy of the progressive left that they've put themselves in a position like this. So, it's fun to watch. If they'll never win another election again, they just have not figured it out. Now, let's go to guns.
Right.
House of Representatives, Committee of the Judiciary, the Honorable Pamela J. Bondi, Attorney General, U.S. Department of Justice, 950 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C., 2530. Dear Attorney General Bondi, as members of Congress committed to safeguarding Americans' rights enshrined in both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, we are writing you this letter to find out what you're going to do about all the gun control laws we passed. That's essentially what it says. But keep this in mind. As is committed to safeguarding Americans' rights enshrined in both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, we are determined to protect our communities against lethal gun crime in a manner consistent with the Second Amendment. Oh, good heavens, Andy. Now, it's a lot longer than that, but let's just take that first sentence. Is that what they really want to do? What party hates your guns, Andy, real quick?
That would be my guess. Just spitballing here, that would be the Democrat Party.
What party is the party of never enough gun control? What party? Asking for a friend.
Just, again, throwing it out there, my guess would be the Democrat Party.
If you live in a blue state, that means the party that is in control is who?
That would be the Democrat Party.
And what party is in charge of passing gun control after gun control after gun control behind the blue wall in the blue states?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That would be also the Democrat Party.
So let's go back and reread that first sentence. As members of Congress committed to safeguarding Americans' rights enshrined in both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, we are determined to protect our communities against lethal gun crime in a manner consistent with the Second Amendment. I know what the Second Amendment says. I have it tattooed on my arm, so let's read it together. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is the party committed to safeguarding Americans' rights. The party you just so eloquently answered with your answers is
now,
the party
on,
of
Mark,
gun control.
I mean,
go ahead.
You forgot. I mean, you had that part tattooed on your skin, which is awesome. You forgot, however, that Joe Biden said there were clauses underneath that to allow the government to put stipulations on what firearm you can have and who's allowed to have them. So you have the basics. You just forgot the second part of that, which is what they're trying to say. It's in conjunction with the Second Amendment, where you have the right to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. But there's also some clauses if you use like the national treasure idea of like lemon juice and invisibility markers and everything that shows that there's a clause underneath it that allows the government to regulate who can have them and what type you're allowed to have.
That's where the eraser marks are on in the Constitution. If you go and see the original Constitution in D.C., you can see the eraser marks down below. Where
they
they
still got
erase
some of that,
that
that eraser powder stuff all over it too.
Yeah, we are confident that your forthcoming examination, pursuant to the recent executive order issued by President Donald Trump, of all orders, regulations, guidance, plans, international agreements, and other actions of executive departments and agencies in this area will, if carried out objectively and in good faith, find that such actions have overwhelmingly advanced these important goals in a way that is perfectly consistent with the Second Amendment. This is the party that's going to vote for men on women's sports teams today. We'll be back.
This segment of Armed American Radio's Daily Defense is being brought to you by Daniel Defense. Visit DanielDefense.com. Now, back to the show.
Yeah, and you know what feeds Daniel Defense and SIG and Kahr and North American Arms and all that? Ammo Squared. AmmoSquared.com. Make sure to check them out. AmmoSquared.com. Guys, I pay $15 a month, and I'm right now just at about 2,000 rounds. 10 millimeter, 9 millimeter, and a combination of 223 and 5.56. The majority of it is 223, but I wanted some 5.56 in there too. You visit AmmoSquared.com. They stack your ammo for you. They keep it in a climate-controlled warehouse. When you want it, they ship it to you. I just let it grow. And I've got a stash of ammo building over there for $15 a week. AmmoSquared.com. Make sure to visit them. Tell them we sent you there. Pick the phone up. Call them. Go online. Put the AAR in there. Put a comment in there. Let them know. Fantastic company. Phenomenal owners. Dan and his family are absolutely wonderful over there. What a great idea. AmmoSquared.com. That's the way to stack ammo, guys. You don't have to keep it at home. If you want it, they'll ship it to you right away. And if for whatever reason you change your mind, they'll just give you your money back right on the spot. It is an absolute win-win all day long. AmmoSquared.com. BudsGunShop.com. Somewhere else. You pick up anything you want. Our exclusive online retailer, BudsGunShop.com. I'll be broadcasting from Sevierville, Tennessee. We haven't got the date set, but it's probably going to be within the next 3 to 4 weeks. So I'll keep you posted on that. BudsGunShop.com, BudsGunShop.com. And don't forget Goat Guns, Emerson Knives, all that. I always like to pull this Emerson knife up if you're watching us. Boom, there's an Emerson knife right there in front of your camera. I know you can't watch on X today, but we'll get it up there for you. We'll go ahead and put the video up later after the show on X for you. But EmersonKnives.com, EmersonKnives.com, promo code AAR. Andy Hoosier, the voice of reason. Welcome back, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Good times.
Oh, good times, good times. So, let's see. If carried out objectively and in good faith, find that such actions have overwhelmingly advanced these important goals. In other words, what the Democrats are doing here is saying, what are you going to do with all of our gun control? Gun control is consistent with the Second Amendment. I can't even, the words I want to use, I can't say on radio. There is plainly no need for any new plan of action to, in the words of the executive order, protect the Second Amendment rights of all Americans. Let me repeat that for you. Donald Trump's executive order directed Pam Bondi in 30 days to give him everything the Democrats have infringed on so that he can fix the problem. And listen to what the Democrats said. There is plainly no need for any new plan of action to, in the words of the executive order, protect the Second Amendment rights of all Americans. Andy, that's the first paragraph I just covered. That's the final sentence of the first paragraph. Does that not just say it all?
I smell desperation, Mark. I smell desperation. They've worked so hard they've worked for years, decades, trying to, again, that socialist, that Saul Alinsky mindset, chipping away little by little by little, putting it. You don't need weapons of war. We're going to deem them as weapons of war. We're going to deem them as assault weapons. You don't need something like that. It's about hunting. It's not about anything else. It's just a killing machine, which means if you have it, you obviously have intent to want to kill somebody. It's all of this rhetoric, and then it's just slipping it into legislation at local levels all over the country. And now when we're reviewing it, because we're doing this reset button with the federal government, with laws, with DOJ, with spending, with the budget, with everything, we're hitting this reset button on culture. They're like, hey, these aren't the droids you're looking for. You don't need to look over here. There's nothing that infringes on the Second Amendment. Don't look over here. You don't have to worry about infringements. Why? I smell desperation, Mark.
And by the way, it's midnight, but the sun is shining. You can believe me. Congress passed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which expanded background checks, established federal crimes for gun trafficking and straw purchasing, and clarified existing gun industry regulations. Together, these laws have provided the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, AFT, with the authority to promulgate rules that have prevented violent crime and saved lives. Our courts have repeatedly agreed that Congress has the authority to regulate the sale and use of firearms and that these regulations do not violate the Second Amendment. Yeah, okay. There's Bruin, there's McDonald, there's Heller, And that's not what the courts are finding. But what they don't realize what they just did in this sentence. They just talked about the BATFE promulgating rules when right below it, they state, our courts have repeatedly agreed that Congress has the authority to regulate the sale and use of firearms. The ATF's rules that they're referring to, that they don't go into any details about, we have talked about on this program ad nauseum, by making up rules, giving those rules teeth, treating it like law that was never passed by Congress, to jail you, and saving lives at ATF. ATF kills people when they go to their doors.
Yeah.
Need I remind you about that? This is unbelievable stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why we can never let our guard down, Andy. Ever, ever, ever. Trump's in office. We don't have anything to worry about. Bull. Yes, you do. Because these people are not going away. And desperate people do desperate things. Trust me when I tell you that, Andy.
Yeah, and they are desperate. Again, this is, they never thought, even though we've always threatened it, even though there's been campaigns that say, we're going to audit this, we're going to look at deep dive into this, we're going to expose this. They always say that, but it never really happens. In 30 days, Mark, we're just over a month of the Trump administration. And just over a month, look at what Trump has done. Look at what Doge has done. Now the Democrats are realizing, oh, shoot, we didn't expect it to go this far. They've already cut the USAID by 90% in its funding and by its employees. They're diving into the Treasury Department. They're diving into the Department of Energy. They're diving into the Department of Education. They're going after everything and found potentially $2.5 trillion in fraudulent spending in the Medicare program alone. Oh no, what else are they going to come after? So when Trump signed that executive order that said, hey, bring me all of the potential infringements on the Second Amendment on guns, they didn't expect that was completely off the wall and in left field for them. Now they're like, hey, again, don't worry about it. Don't look into this. You don't have to worry about it, which for us, which they don't get as well because they're so delusional. When you say, don't look over here, Mark, we should probably look over there and see what's going on.
Andy, are they really delusional? No, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Listen, you can't read this any other way. Let's talk ATF. Yeah. We're going to run out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I can promise you I'm going to cover this in great detail tomorrow. In fact, I could cover this for the rest of the week, period. I mean, there is so much in this, it's not even funny, and it's all bullshit-taki mushrooms is all it is. The executive order specifically instructs you to examine the ATF's enhanced regulatory enforcement policy. Under this policy, ATF initiates the process to revoke the licenses of gun dealers who put the public at serious risk by willfully violating the Gun Control Act through transferring a firearm to a prohibited person, failing to conduct a background check, falsifying records, failing to respond to trace, and they go on and on and on. We are not being told about their zero tolerance policy, which upped license revocations by nearly 700%. Because law-abiding gun dealers failed to put an I above a dot above an I, failed to cross a T, or put a state abbreviation where it should have been county. It's all bull, and the Democrats know it. Yep. So I'm not going to give them the out, Andy, and tell them they're delusional. They know exactly what the hell they're doing here, and we're going to go through this thing in great detail tomorrow. And I do want to point out also the assault weapons ban case, Maryland, pushed off again for another week. That's right. So we'll keep you posted on that. That's actually not a bad sign. Andy, people can find you real quick, 10 seconds.
20.
HoosierReason.com. Always good to talk to you, Mark.
I love you, brother. Thanks for being here on a Monday. Sorry we didn't get to any UFOs, but I couldn't find any good stories for you.
Next time.
All right. Enjoy that warm weather up there. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Enjoy your day. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, thanks for being here today. Martin in the chat, I want to ask you a question. You have a comment in there. Good grief, Mark, you really do know a guy. Who were you referring to there? I'm curious. If you would just respond in the chat, that would be fun. And let's see. Good stuff in the chat today, guys.
I think when that question was asked, you were talking
Where was
about Marianne and Gilligan.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Well, that would fit, right? Knowing Marianne and Gilligan. I don't know. I don't know them. I met them. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that was about the time that question was asked. I don't remember what the statement was beforehand that may have prompted the question.
Ah, okay. I don't know. Well, if I know Martin well enough, he will. Oh, when you met Marianne and Gilligan. There you go. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate it. The show is over. Don't tell me Mark is abandoning me on this island again. Armed American Radio, and there's Marianne with the radio. Guys, I love that. Angeline, if that's you, that's beautiful. I am going to grab some of these, and I'm going to put them up on social media because they're great. Keep them coming. Fantastic stuff. And God bless Marianne. We love Marianne. Ginger got all the accolades. I've never figured out why. Whatever. You know, whatever. Gilligan's Island. I might have to watch an episode or two of that tonight. All right, guys, enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate it. Sorry about X, but it was outside of our control. We got a notification from them today that they were having a problem with the stream. So we'll see if we can make sure that that's fixed tomorrow. So enjoy your day. Stay safe. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, please support our partners. It's critical. Support our partners, all of them. Pick up some cool stuff from them. They've all got great stuff. You can use it all. You can find them all at armedamericanradio.com. Love you guys. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.